Welcome to Hard Traveling Geeks, a Traveler 5 actual play podcast presented by Geek at Arms. This is Season 1, The Brothers of Farbauti. Well, I had one more little bit about the damage and healing rules. It's been about a day, so Kazan is up 1 point, Migrant is up 1 point.
And do we get a choice of which one to regenerate?
Sure, I don't see why not. By the time it matters, you'll be all the way through.
You can't regenerate something that wasn't wounded.
Right.
I want to push that other stat up. Let's go.
Just swap my stats around by punching myself in the face. That'd be an interesting mechanic.
I think that one only works in Toon.
Do I also get one?
You're healed back to full because you were just superficial damage.
Oh, nice. Good. Even better.
Yep.
So is it just always 1 point per day, or there's some more complex stuff involved?
There is a little bit more complex in the damage and healing handout, which you now have access to. There's a whole process for first aid and diagnosis and using the medic skill. I think they have more rules for using the medic skill than they do for shooting a gun. So that's where we are right now. And next we need to roll for the intuition. So everybody give me a 2d6 roll.
Haha, 2.
All right, so it looks like, let me grab a character sheet so I know for sure what I'm talking about.
Curiosity, insight, and luck.
Right, so Migrant gets 8 points of curiosity.
Ooh.
Kazana gets 7 points of insight. And Roxor, 6 points of luck.
So I put an 8 in curiosity box, right?
Yep.
Okay, good, thanks.
And insight, because I think this is the one I haven't gotten yet. Insight allows me to inquire if you're lying or hiding something.
Insight is kind of, last time I used it to, hey, I saw a solution that nobody else seems to have picked up on, so I asked
Yes.
Kevin to roll his insight so that I could hand it to him.
Okay.
So it might work like that. It might work like, you know what, I'm stuck. Can I roll my insight to get a clue? And I'll say, sure.
Okay, cool.
All right, so let's recap. Shortly after your arrival on Regina, Kazana got a panicked phone call from her friend Troitska, the Vargar poet, which ended abruptly. So you investigated Troitska's hotel, and you discovered that she had been kidnapped right outside her room and taken to a lower-level parking garage, where she was stuffed into a wheeled passenger vehicle and driven away. Through Roxor's political and military connections, you obtained the identity of the kidnapper, Drad Ummelferko. Migrant's experience of living hand to mouth in Credo gave him the necessary insight to find the rental agency that provided the car, and Roxor offered a bribe to get the tracking transponder code and also rent a second air raft. So you took to the skies in pursuit of Drad, catching him on a large highway bound to the outskirts of Credo, the Credo megatropolis. Kazan and Kevin, who was armed with Roxor's illegal laser pistol, leaped out of the air raft on hang gliders that Roxor had stashed under the seats in case of emergency. Meanwhile, Migrant revealed that he'd prepared some water balloons filled with peanut butter and grease to use against the windshield and hopefully slow Drad down. Kazana missed her attempt to land on the roof of a moving car at 60 miles per hour and took a bad tumble across the roadway. She barely managed to roll out of the way of an oncoming truck, which slammed on the brakes and went into a skid. Kevin buzzed low over the car and shot through its hood with the laser, disabling its engine. At about the same time, Migrant and Jace swooped overhead, and Jace tagged one of the tires with a grease bomb. Between the loss of traction and a molten hole suddenly appearing in the hood of his car, Drad lost control and skidded to a stop in the middle of the highway, with that truck coming up fast behind. The kidnapper abandoned his vehicle, getting ready to either run or fight. Migrant was about to position his air raft between the truck and Drad's car to try and absorb the impact, but from his vantage point, Kevin noticed that the angles were good to try and just ram the car out of the way. So Migrant gave it a go, but didn't have quite enough speed. He got Drad's car out of the lane, but the truck hit the air raft instead, tumbling it down the highway. Kevin and Roxor boxed Drad in and coaxed him into giving up. Then Kevin went to check on the wounded, finding Kazana in pretty bad shape, but Migrant and Jace had been mostly saved by the air raft's emergency shock-absorbing foam. Migrant, being ambulatory, stayed with Drad at the scene of the crash to wait for the authorities and to be present for the preliminary interrogation. Roxor rushed Kazan and Jace to a medical facility where Kevin evaluated and treated them more thoroughly, with Roxor's assistance. Mostly because I wanted to learn a little bit more about the damage and healing rules, and also to make him do the rolling. On the way to the police station, a migrant collapsed and lost consciousness. He was also rushed to the med facility, where we learned he had some internal injuries from the crash. Kevin and Roxor treated him also, but once all of the injured were stable, the entire group was arrested for endangerment, destruction of property, interference with an investigation, possession of illegal weaponry, and improper parking. But at least you got to the bottom of the kidnapping. Drad was an agent of the Latifundia, the ruling class of Sirdaria. He'd been sent to bring Troitska home because her increasing fame was causing the common folk to get ideas about leaving the planet in search of a better life, and they could not have that. And so that takes us to now.
Well, Your Honor, I object to the term illegal laser pistol. It is completely legal when it is at home.
Well, the police have left you cooling your heels all night and well into the morning. They at least put Kazana, Migrant, and Jace in a secure infirmary, and both Roxor and Kevin were given cells to themselves in deference to their station. The three of you in the infirmary hear some bustle outside the room, and a pair of guards enters. One of them says, Agent Helshut? I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Hang on. I got to look at it again myself. Oh, yeah, it's Helzot.
Helzot. All right, anyway. Please come with us.
Okay.
They help you up and take you to a comfortable office with a large desk faced by two nice chairs. Behind the desk is Archduke Norris himself. You've only met him once, but it was a memorable experience. He sits now with his elbows on the desk and his fingers steepled. Well, I'm sure you're feeling ill-used right now, injured while heroically saving a kidnapped victim, then arrested for your trouble. I imagine it's a bit galling, especially considering all you've done for the Imperium. In truth, your arrest was contrived. You see, I need a favor from you and your crew, but one that I think you're well motivated to give me. You see, for the last 6 years, we've had a smuggler by the name of Lincoln Lunt in prison. Lunt, you may recall, was the informant that led Major Roxor's company into that mess on Gugeste. The Neb intelligence has learned that he's planning an escape from the prison, and I want you to help him. I'll be sending along your old supervisor, Hana Su Rong, to work up backstories for you and your crew. Any questions?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Which of us are in this room?
Just Migrant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to know where'd you get that jacket, because that would look really good on me.
Who's your tailor? I love
It's a bit pricey. Rank hath its privileges after all, but sure I can.
Yeah. I get you. Okay, so you're needing my help now, and you end up putting me through all of this just so I would help you?
Well, we haven't really put you through all that much. Just a night in the clink, and a fairly comfortable clink since you were in the infirmary.
Well, it's because I was damaged.
Fair enough. We had to make it look good. You'll be undercover again, obviously, and we don't want everybody to know that you're working for me, honestly.
Okay, but
We're
what
gonna be sending-
assurances do I have that this is not going to go south like some of the other things that I've helped you with that have almost gone south, except by how good I am at what I do?
Well, exactly. The thing that's going to keep it from going south is that you and your crew are good at what you do. And that's what I'm counting on.
Okay, but let's just say, as good as we are, you roll the dice, you move your mice, and somebody gets hurt. Are you
Well-
going to be able to catch us in a pinch?
It depends on exactly where this investigation goes.
Okay.
As long as you're within my domain, absolutely, I will do what I can to help you. That help may not be overt, because obviously, if the Imperium comes swooping in to rescue you whenever you get into a bind, that's going to not do a whole lot for your credibility in the underworld.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
But I assure you that when this is over, I'll make certain that you're well compensated and well taken care of.
Well, I
In
would
terms
also
of-
like to make sure that I have the hide on my back left when I'm done with this.
Well, if you don't have that hide, we'll make sure you get another one.
Okay. All right. We're We're comedians now. I get it. All right. So when are you wanting us to start this joyride?
Well, you'll be shipping out on the Luru tomorrow morning.
All right.
I think a couple of your comrades are already familiar with the ship, as are you yourself, I guess.
Okay. Yep. Yep. And what kind of equipment are we going to be able to take with us? Anything?
Well, you'll be going to prison, so not much.
Okay.
Whatever you can slide by the guards there. And for the sake of your cover, you're actually going in as prisoners.
Okay.
The guards will not know a thing about your mission.
Okay. You know, there are times when I wonder how many more favors I'm going to be able to give you before I need to cash something in.
In this particular instance, I think of it less of a favor to me and more of an alliance.
Oh,
You see,
we're an alliance now.
let's just say I know your recent history and the loss that you suffered.
Okay.
And I believe that the people responsible for that are the ones that Lunt is going to be able to lead you to. He's our best line into that operation.
Okay.
And if he thinks that you want to cut of the action, he might be willing to introduce you to whoever he was working for. And that's where you're going to find the perpetrators.
Okay. You see me clench my jaw, and I'm just staring straight at you. I'm somewhat not believing what I'm hearing, but this is definitely piqued my interest.
To the best of your knowledge, Norris is somewhat of a straight shooter.
Yeah.
He says what's on his mind, and
Okay.
he doesn't lead people on. This is his reputation, of course.
Okay. All right.
You only met him the one time when he gave you your commendation.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, now how do I address him? Is it Mr. Norris or by rank?
And I'm not entirely certain. You would probably call him something like Your Excellency.
Okay. All right. Well, most excellent Norris. I appreciate the opportunity. I am, you know how well I will do for you, and especially with this new information you've shared with me. Sir, you will have the best that I can do for you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hilzot. And we'll see you on the other side.
Yes, sir, you will.
He releases you back to the infirmary, and I presume that you catch everybody else up on the situation.
Yeah, after I get my orange juice, but yes.
All right. After you've restored your blood sugar.
Yeah. Okay,
All right, so
do you want to play that out, or do you just describe it to the guys, or what?
I assume everybody was listening, so
Okay, that's cool.
we'll
For most of it,
we'll
I caught most of it.
Okay, we'll just
I
go
missed
from
the
there.
first
That's
part.
cool.
you'll be able to pick up the rest of it on the,
Yeah.
the trip over.
If only it was recorded.
Get ready for a fun ride, guys.
So you have a feeling that justice does not ordinarily work so swiftly on Regina. But you've spent barely 2 days in the clink before you're loaded up on what, to Dixon and Jace, is a very familiar craft. The 5 of you, plus the bounty hunter Drad, are marched aboard the Luru's pinnace, wearing jumpsuits and manacles. Accompanying you is a guard, is a short, skinny woman.
Is the Luru specifically just a prison transport ship, or is it a prison in itself, or what?
The Luru is a colonial cruiser. It is the same ship that Jace and Kevin served on and just left a couple of days ago.
Okay.
And it's the one that rescued you on Gugusta. So you've also spent a little bit of time on the ship, as has Migrant.
Okay.
So short, skinny woman with long, straight brown hair and very prominent cheekbones. She doesn't say much, but she prods you with her stun stick occasionally to keep you in line. To her credit, it's at least not turned on. The beauty of Credo is dampened somewhat by the anticipation of the job ahead of you, and all the discomfort it will entail. Still, the shining city and the parade of colorful airships is difficult to look away from as you ascend into the clouds. Night is starting to fall, and you see the lights from one particular barge, and distantly you can hear the music of that concert that you had been supposed to attend going on. You're met at the Luru's airlock. Good grief, I cannot speak tonight. The airlock. You're met at the airlock by a squad of hard-faced Marines and Commander Velish, the ship's XO. He frowns sadly at his 2 former crewmates and sharply orders the Marines to escort you to secure cabins. The brig isn't big enough to house all of you, so only Kazana and Drad are placed there, in spite of Kazana's still healing injuries. And apparently a few of the Marines were left behind at Regina because the rest of you were given cots in one of their barracks, which has been cleared for this purpose. As soon as the ship is underway, the guard enters the barracks. When the door closes behind her, she drops the stern expression on her face and steps forward to embrace Migrant. She hugs him carefully, so as not to cause him pain. She says, "I heard about Dontarmi. I'm so sorry."
Thank you. That really means a lot to me. I appreciate that.
Of course. So, introductions?
Yeah. So, I guess you could say these are my boys, so to speak, that you'll see here. We have Jace, and we have Sir Kevin Dixon, and Gazna. Of course, you know me.
Actually, Kazan is not here quite
she's
yet.
not. Okay. All
No,
right.
she's still in the brig.
Okay. And then we've got Roxor here.
Baron.
And Baron. I'm sorry. Yep. And so we're here to serve our time and be model prisoners.
She says, "And I'm Hannah Surong. We'll get into exactly what we're doing here in a few moments. We just need to wait. And let's jump over to Kazana for a few moments. Only a few minutes after the guard shuts the door on you, you feel the change in the ship's vibrations that indicate it's under power. It'll probably take less than a day to get far enough from the gas giant's gravity well to jump out system, based on your experience. Drad fixes you with a flinty stare. So, Mudfoot, I guess they put us down here in the hole to keep the smell of manure out of the rest of the ship, yeah?"
I say nothing for a minute. When the ship is under power, does it change the gravity on board at all?
No, the gravity remains constant. There's a little bit of you feel the initial change rock you back just slightly, but the inertial dampeners very quickly take over and cushion it.
Yeah, I want to glare at him back.
Drad says, "Look, I hope there's no hard feelings about the wolf girl. It was just a job. Bosses say you go, you go. Feel me? Didn't do her no harm, not really."
No, maybe not her. But,
yeah, you got a little banged up, didn't you?
Yeah, so you could say it's a bit personal. They clean these ships. I cleaned these ships when I was straight. I thought it would, I thought I could get somewhere. But it seems like some of the manure gets all the luck.
Yeah, they're never going to let people like us get up out of the mud. They're always going to stomp us down, keep us in the dirt. You know how it is, how the hoity-toities like to keep us down.
And so that's why your masters sent you out here, paid for your trip. Had you ever been off-world before?
Oh, well, yeah, I do the jobs, bring folks back if I need to, or go get something, take something somewhere.
There's a saying out here. I forget exactly how it goes, but it's something about animals in a bowl trying to climb out. I just kind of trail off and stare at the wall next to his head.
A few moments later, the door opens again, and an officer with spiky hair points at Drad. "You come with me. We brought legal counsel along for you. You'll be able to prepare your defense during the voyage." And as soon as the sound of their boots is cut off by the closing of another hatch, the commander who met you at the airlock opens the door. "All right, you're to come with me. Say nothing until you're with your crew." And he leads you over to the barracks where everybody else is.
All right.
So Hannah picks it up from there. So we have 19 days to prepare an escape for yourselves, Mr. Lunt, and whatever other accomplices are needed. We can't let anyone in the prison, even the warden, know that you're working for us, so you won't be able to take anything in with you. You'll have to work with whatever resources are available on board the prison. Now, the Gash, the Gash, they've nicknamed it the Gash, is the hulk of a Canooner battlecruiser, just like this one, in fact. And she calls up a schematic of the Luru on her communicator, little holographic thing.
Okay, so we're on a prison ship.
No, you're on an Imperial cruiser.
Was this the cruiser that we were just on?
Yes, it is.
Yes, this is literally the cruiser that we got dropped off on the planet with, and then now we're back on it, being taken back off the planet in not such as good condition as we arrived.
So you're already familiar, pretty well familiar with this vessel. And I think I even have a deck plan key. There you go.
Oh, nice.
So we know quite a bit about the overall structure. Unfortunately, what we don't have is accurate plans for its remodel. We know A deck is administrative. It's where the guards sleep, and the entire place is operated from there. We presume that most functions are still performed from the bridge. All personnel and cargo transfer is handled by a regular shuttle into the boat dock here. DIC apparently does have an operative on board, and DIC, by the way, is an abbreviation for the Deneb Intelligence Corps. But Control is apparently unwilling to disclose their identity or permit us to make use of them. I don't know what instructions they will have been given concerning you, but I think you shouldn't assume that you have an ally in there. So let's talk up plans for a jailbreak.
Okay, first off, where are we stored right now? In a C11? Or no, we're at the barracks, right?
Yes, CO3. You're in one of those rooms.
And do we know where we will eventually be?
As she said, they don't really know very much about the internal structure of the Gash, except that Deck A is where the guards and administration will be, and that Deck C is where supplies go in and out. They do know that right outside Deck C, there's a cargo elevator that goes to all decks, but it's usually locked in the upper position on A deck, and that this appears to be some kind of a prison yard, exercise equipment and that kind of thing there.
Are you talking about right here?
You'll come out through this hatch right there.
Oh, okay. But we're currently in one of these rooms up here.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
So what was right here?
That is the hatch between the boat deck and that's the mess hall for the prisoners.
Okay, so down here's the mess hall. And we have 20-something days because the ship is going to leave, right?
Right. It takes... I remember the timing wrong last time. Jump takes 1 week, and then it's usually a few days into and out of a system for a merchant vessel, and then a week or two, doing your trading and adventuring or whatever. So it's usually a month per jump. But if you're in a hurry, then it can be done in 2 weeks. Fast travel is twice as fast as I thought, but it's still fairly slow.
Okay, they're not in a particular hurry, probably.
Well, they're not going to be wasting a lot of time, but it's kind of far away to the place you're going. You're currently here at Regina, and you are on your way to Pixie. So you'll be jumping to Huanga first, and then to Pixie.
And Brian, just for a frame of reference, these jumps, are they like I have seen in any of the science fiction movies where they are like hyper jumps, where it's my matter is physically altered and pushed forward, or what? What is it like?
Okay, well, let's describe jump here.
I was going to say, I figure it's like old Star Trek.
It's a little bit more akin to Babylon 5.
Okay.
The jump drive tears a hole in the fabric of space-time and inserts you into this kind of alternate space. Outside of the jump bubble that the ship forms, any matter will just get disintegrated. And as far as what it looks like, it's kind of indescribable, swirly, not particular any color, but not light and not dark, because it's just chaos, nothingness.
Okay.
You spend 1 week in there. Doesn't matter how far you're traveling, how good the jump engine is. Jump always takes a week. 162 hours plus or minus 5 or 6 hours.
Okay.
And then a few hours before you're ready to transition back into normal space, the ship will kind of rumble. It'll vibrate. And then you pop back out into normal space. And both going in and coming out is accompanied by a flash across the electromagnetic spectrum. So a ship entering the system is usually pretty visible, unless it comes out like, behind a big planet or something, or
Sure.
way, way out in the outer system.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And a medical question. We cannot take anything into the prison with us, but could a prosthetic be fitted with secret compartments and things like that?
It certainly could.
And would that be obviously detectable by whatever method they probably use?
They don't really have a whole lot of information about what the procedures are on the ship. Obviously, they're going to be doing some scans for weaponry and that kind of thing, but they're not worried about somebody smuggling a file in because you're in space. So what are you going to do?
Yeah,
You can stab somebody with a file.
No, I'm just going to file it away for later use.
put it in a filing cabinet.
Sorry.
As long as it's not an accordion file, nobody wants to hear that in space.
Yeah.
So probably they're not going to surgically open somebody up to make sure that you don't have something stored in migrant's leg or something.
See, okay, hold on, because that's exactly what I was thinking. And it's like, Roxor, you know what? Just like the Rolling Stone said, I'm not your mule, not your beast of burden here, brother.
I don't know what kind of stones you're talking about, but I was only
The
pondering.
Rolling Stones.
It's been about 4,000 years. They probably
Yeah, but
Keith
it's all
Richards is still
again,
around, right?
5-10 years, so it.
Right, just kidding.
It's continually been in copyright for the 4,000 years.
Hey, just remember, time is meaningless when it comes to space, because remember Battlestar Galactica.
I prefer not to remember Battlestar Galactica. At least not anything after the third season.
All along the Watchtower.
Oh,
Doesn't make any sense.
Greg, you are my hero.
That I remember that.
Oh, no, just in general. Just in general, bro.
If we just get them to play Beastie Boys Sabotage.
Again, more things that don't make sense with that.
Yeah.
But none of
Okay, so to Dave's point, there wasn't, Brian, I wasn't thinking of actually hiding anything in my body parts. And so I don't think anyone else has any prosthetics, do they?
I got a prosthetic lung, but that's not an easy thing to put something in and out of.
That's a mighty big hairball to try to regurgitate. So, yeah.
If somebody were willing to undergo some surgery to implant something, though, that's an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone wants to volunteer to have a limb cut off to be replaced by a prosthetic, do that.
but
Take one for the team is what you're saying?
Migrant, you were the most recently the one under the knife.
Yeah, we forgot.
Yeah, so probably
Yeah, while you were in surgery, we forgot to mention to you that.
Great.
we had some pieces left over.
Okay. Well, great. So now I'm like a hot dog.
Yeah, but they put the extra pieces in your prosthetic leg, so you're all there.
You know what? I was wondering why I was limping a little more.
Okay, so if the ship is like this one, they have an intuitive modifications, what other ways are there to go between decks besides the elevator? Air vents, I assume? Are there, electrical tubes or, things like that? So there's got to be stuff. The decks cannot be completely separate from each other, I'm guessing.
Right. Okay, so this blocked off section in the center of the ship is a maintenance conduit that goes all the way up and down. The only place it can be entered is down on deck E. There are some hatches that are security locked down there, and they're actually not obvious. They're not exactly disguised, but they look just like the rest of the wall if you're not paying attention.
And are there, a weird procedures to open it? A keypad, or you just have to know the right thing to slide? Stuff like that. Is it with us not being common knowledge, but us having spent a lot of time on this ship? If they have
There is a
faults, is that something we could be able to get into relatively easy if we were to get down to E deck?
There is a keypad on it. It would probably take some kind of like electronics to bypass it, or a hacking roll or something like that to get it to open with its logic. Other than the maintenance hatch, you've got all of these little icons are hatches in the floor with a ladder. And then, that's the most common way to get up and down from decks is that main lift, and then those ladders and hatches. They suspect that a lot of those are probably welded shut. Like they wouldn't want the prisoners getting into this area where the life support is.
Yeah.
And then let's see, we've got the airlocks. There are 2 airlocks on A deck, personnel airlocks. On this ship, they've got vac suits in them, ready to go out. And then there's locks at the back of the ship on the bottom deck, E12 and E11 there. And then the big cargo lock at the front in E01. E5 and 6 and 2 and 3 are the landing gear, which might be able to, if they could be lowered, there would be egress in and out of there.
And Brian, curiosity question.
Yes.
What is the life? What's the service intervals, the life cycle of this class of ship? Like, how old is this one, and how well maintained has it been?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me grab that info.
And while you do that, I'm assuming, especially for me and Sir Kevin, we probably very well know our way around.
Yes. At least you know your way around the Luru. The Gash has been remodeled, obviously, as a prison. So it was laid down in 1083. It is currently 1105.
Okay.
It was converted to a prison hulk in 1098. So it's been...
So they would extend this kind of ship once they outfit it this way. They would extend this ship way past its end of life, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know what the actual end of life on the Cannoneer class is.
Okay.
Some of them are still in service,
And
45 years after.
Wow. Okay.
So how does that compare to this particular ship, year, make, and model wise?
Could you rephrase that? I didn't understand the question.
Is that one and this one, are they, of similar age, or is that, are we in a relatively new ship compared to the one we're going to?
The Luru is 3 years older than the Gash, and they came from different shipyards.
Okay, but still following
the same plan.
Close anyway. Okay, so there wouldn't be any major surprises. There probably aren't any huge changing upgrades from year to year.
Right. Yeah. The general layout and all of the electronics and avionics systems and everything would be identical.
Right.
Okay.
The main difference is just going to be, which bulkheads have they pulled out, which partitions have they knocked down, what have they welded closed.
Okay. That's good to know. Yeah.
How is food handled on these kinds of ships? Is it replicated, made from nothing, or do they have just a kitchen with, a ton of potatoes and whatever kind of stuff?
Yeah, they've got a pretty conventional kind of galley. They have to take on food supplies when they stop, and it's prepared as normal food. There's no matter reconversion technology available at this point.
Where was the old crew barracks back whenever we were on the ship?
Crew barracks. See, I think most crew quarters, I know that's on here somewhere. Enlisted are on D deck, D9 and 10. Officers, I believe, are up on A deck in these rooms here. And then A6 up here is another ingress point. This is the air raft and APC dock. They think it's pretty likely that those vehicles are no longer on the Gash.
Yeah.
But they've got some big doors to either side that can open out onto space. Obviously, you want to be careful about doing that because it would evacuate the atmosphere in that room.
Yeah.
Okay, so no midnight walks on the mezzanine is what you're saying.
Right.
Only once. So, Migrant,
Yep.
if we were to hollow out a leg, there might be a way to store some guard uniforms inside there.
I could take one uniform per leg, but that's about it. If I try to take any more, I'm going to lose some of my flexibility.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a good idea, but I want to make sure that if it's time to run, I got to be able to run, man.
Yes.
I'm interested what we might be able to do with the with some food though. Do we know we got to find out how often the rotational guards take their meals? Whether it's do they take like half meals like breaks, like quarter meals or whatever it breaks, or do they get a chance for a full meal? Because I'm wondering if there's anything that we might be able to maybe some spices we can kind of increase just how tasty the food is for them, and then maybe
Excellent chef myself.
okay, because I'm thinking maybe a few extra bathroom breaks might help us break up the rotations.
Right. Well, I was actually thinking as a chef and an expert in biochemistry, there are ways to use ingredients to do other things than make food.
Okay.
I mean, like they
Brian,
say,
who is with?
thanks for a seasoned veteran.
Okay.
Seasoned veteran.
Who's with? That's good. Who's with Roxor and I? How close are the other guys with us?
The entire group is here, plus Hannah.
Oh, plus Hannah. Okay. All right. So there's a possibility. Jace, you have to remind me. A couple of missions ago that we worked on a couple of things, or at least maybe some things you were telling me about. Is it engineering that you have some specialties in?
Piloting, more so.
What is that?
Piloting.
Piloting? Okay. All right. So that means if we can take over the entire ship, you can land it. That's good. Who of our crew can do some jimmy rigging of some mechanics, some mechanical things?
That depends on how complicated it is. The fancier stuff I can't quite figure out, but if it's obvious where to hit or push or pull or otherwise manipulate, I can generally work that out.
It's a good idea, Kazna. It's a good idea.
I'm good with bombs.
No, I do remember that. That a couple of close calls that helped me remember that.
I do have a question though, and I think that Lincoln will remember at least some of us. I honestly don't remember so well the terms that we parted on. But how will you military types, how will they look at you in a prison? And especially how will...
Good idea.
Because we can't just break out, I think. I mean, that would be nice. It'd be nice to go free, but I understand that we're supposed to bring him with us on our side, as it were.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a really good question.
And out of character, what terms did I part from Lincoln Lunt on? What was the end of that, our relationship?
You were pretty much hapless and clueless about what was going on in that whole situation.
Yep.
So I think it would be easy to persuade him that you're in as much of a hole as he is and that you would be an ally.
So he always kind of looked at me as a rube then, even to the end.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
He might have a little bit more trouble trusting Roxor since...
yes, that's what I'm wondering about.
So you might want to think about ways to persuade the other prisoners that you're, I want to say on the level, but exactly the opposite of that, that you're
Yeah.
Well, if
you're not the authorities.
if Roxor is the obvious enemy here of Lunt, it might be better for me just to draw and hold his attention, and come at him, whatever kind of things, to let the rest of you go about your sneaky business, and perhaps appear to take his side.
You mean versus us? Because we're supposed to all work together, right?
Yes, but if he and I together are going to be a serious problem,
Ah,
then I can take the heat while the rest of you focus on the mission, if it comes to that.
well, I'm okay. Is Lunt anywhere near us?
No, Lunt is already on the Gash. He's been there for 6 years.
Okay, all right. So it's just and I wanted to ask one more thing, Brian. Is Hannah a prisoner with us, or is she a guard?
She was masquerading as a guard.
Okay, how comfortable is she to continue in that role?
She won't be able to come with you on the Gash.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay,
I
All right.
do have a question for her. I don't know if she'll have the answer, but I want to ask
Go for
Hannah, how much ingress and egress is there out of the prison? Can people send us letters? Do we get news from the outside? How did you learn about Lunt's plan to escape?
Well, I don't have all the details about how we got that information. I do know there's a supply shuttle that goes in and out every 2 weeks that carries mostly foodstuffs, extra fuel for the ship. There is some amount of correspondence. I understand that it's very frequently censored, but it is possible to receive mail there and to send information back out. You shouldn't rely on any particular information being able to get out and helping you.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know who our agent aboard the Gash is, whether they're a guard or another prisoner. I haven't been given that information.
it's okay. We appreciate what you're able to tell us.
Do we have a contact protocol so the inside will know how to contact us, and we will know to identify and trust them?
No, as I said before, I don't think that you should be able to count on whatever agent we have on board being able to help you. I don't even know if they're going to be aware of you.
Okay.
Information in the intelligence services is very often compartmentalized, perhaps more than it should be.
Yes.
And I look over at Kazna and I say, Kaz, what was your thought on being able to get mail and such? What are you thinking? Because I like that thought pattern, but I don't understand what benefit would that be for us?
Well, mostly I just want to be able to reassure Troiska that we're doing all right. I think it would mean a lot to her to see our native language, since he's so far away from familiar faces now. But I have a few connections from my time outside of my home world, and sometimes people can, pull strings or exert some political pressure
Okay.
on our behalf.
Yeah.
I was also wondering, and I look at Jace. I said, "You're a big, smart type of person.
Smarter than bigger.
You grew out way out in the middle of nowhere, right? How'd you get so clever, far away from anybody else? You read lots of books out in space, or
Yes, there wasn't a lot else to do. You can't just go out for a run very easily.
I don't know. That's what I think, though. We have a clever man who grew up far, far away. So,
But back to our discussion of ship operations and engineering. I'm also a very skilled pilot, and I can work a good bit with the fluidics and the photonics of the ship, as well as navigating.
Good. Yeah, I myself, I've got some good, good handiness with electronics and some computing and such. So I think, if we're in a space where I think we've got the knowledge and the tools and the skills that we need My concern is, who we can trust and how far we can trust them, because we've only got a few days to get this done. And so, Brian, real quick, I look back at Hannah and I say, I do really appreciate seeing you and appreciate what you said in memory. And I'm hoping that, maybe when this is all settled out, that maybe we can just grab some coffee and reminisce and catch up on old times and, just make sure that things are solid. So we're going to do our best to make some good things happen. But I really do appreciate you being here. Your friendship has been very meaningful. Thank you.
Oh, of course. I'll be happy to meet with you if I can. Obviously, it's tricky.
Yeah.
But with cover identities and all. But
sure. Yeah.
Everyone at the office is behind you, and when you find whoever it was that did such a terrible thing, if you need us, you just point the way and we'll pull the trigger.
Well, I can tell you at this point, whatever's left, you can have.
Pulling the trigger is figurative, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, excellent.
Figurative.
And when it does come to the issue of
it might be a button.
Yeah. Since you brought up the issue of mail, I am an expert in 6 languages. I'm not a photographer, yes, but I can put in words from other languages that might be able to get past the censor to signal outward as needed.
Well, that's an idea.
Yeah,
very nice.
And Brian,
and I do.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask that I do have a native language, right? Is there an indigenous?
I would imagine there's some kind of a
dialect.
Yeah, an indigenous language there, but you also speak. I think the Sardaria is Anglic.
Yeah.
In terms of interstellar language.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm not particularly literate either way, so I'm definitely not six languages.
And Brian, that connection, just stepping out of character a little bit, that connection back with Hannah, I'm not trying to create some kind of really crazy side story. When you introduced, I just wanted it to be. So I would rather, if it ever gets to the friendship that I have felt there is vital during these times, and so that's what I was kind of trying to capture with that.
Ah,
yeah, it's kind of good to know somebody from the agent past that get people in your corner. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so are we in the midweek of our travel, or have we started out on that jump yet?
I'm kind of abstracting this entire journey. Whatever plans that you're making, the things that you're setting up. If anybody needs to have surgery, that probably needs to happen, at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
So you have time to heal.
Okay.
And arranging for codes and ciphers with Hannah if you need to communicate with her through the mail or something. All of this is being set up during these 19 days of travel.
Okay.
So don't assume, we've only got so much time because you've got days and days. So
sweet.
Whenever you feel like you've got enough of a plan to get on with it, just let me know and we'll say you arrive at that point.
Well, if the other fellows are good with the parted plan that Roxor brought up, I am willing to. The surgery won't be that bad for me. I am willing to put, if we have access to the actual guard uniforms, at least the shirt and the pants, I can put one in either leg, and I'm good with that. If the other 2 guys and gal are good with that, then I'm willing to split some skin and get them in there.
It seems reasonable to me.
Is everybody in agreement on that I would do that? Two uniforms?
Yeah, I figure cloth probably wouldn't show up on their normal type of x-rays. I don't know if we'd be able to fit in any, screwdrivers, other types of useful tools like that, or any kind of electronics like comm devices. But cloth seems like something they would not be looking for there anyway. And I guess the other issue then becomes, how do we get it out?
Well, with this specialized skin that I have, yeah, it's going to be crazy in prison. I was going to say I could just have them put a type of a pull string or drawstring or whatever, but that might make for an access nightmare in
You
prison.
could also enclose some adhesive, like surgical adhesive, in the compartment with the uniforms.
You have to close it back up, right?
And then Kevin could sew you back up.
Yeah, that's true. We could do that. Kaz and Jace, Kevin, you good with that?
Oh, yeah.
And if he's not available, I can do an okay job.
Okay. Hey, that's okay. Okay is okay with me as long as the skin is still, I can put it on the market if I need to. If it's old and used, I can get some money for it. Yeah.
That's pretty much just like a zipper, right?
Well, sort of like a zipper. Yeah. It's.
I was thinking like a parachute ripcord. In the event of emergency, migrate to become a flotation device.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So I'm wondering, since I also have, bionic arms or whatever they're called, Android arms or whatever. I'm wondering if there's a small compartment in there that I could put. How prevalent is ABS or high density plastic in this world?
You can get whatever kinds of polymers that you desire. They can even be probably fabricated on board the ship.
Okay. Roxar, what do you think about some polymer sticks or rods or something that we might be able to use for either props or something to hit with, or I could store several of those in my arms if we needed to.
What might be more useful, if we can get free moving around, there should be easy enough to find something to hit somebody with if we need. Maybe like grease that we need to squeeze through narrow tubes openings.
Okay.
Oh, what are the prisons usually like? Is it like iron bars? Is it force fields?
It varies depending on where you are. In this particular instance, it's probably like heavy metal hatches, iris valves, the kinds of enclosures that you already had on board a ship.
Okay. Well, actually, something to interface with or otherwise mess around with the keypad if we do need to get some kind of electronic access. But
Okay. Well, I do have that with a wafer jack in my head, and then I have some bioelectronic subprocessor preloads in my brain. So
excellent.
there's also that to help us with the other skills that we have in the team.
Cool. So you just need to plug your head into it, and we'll be all right.
Well, that's what they say. Jace always teased me that I let things go to my head, but
I think there were two of you with wafer jacks, wasn't there?
I thought so.
Did somebody else have one?
I have one.
Oh, sweet.
All right. So I will allow each of you, if you would like to pick one skill to have on a wafer for use in an emergency.
And I think I might be only one with Jack of all trades. I don't have to pick any kind of skills. That's just, if I don't have the skill, I can kind of default to just using the stat or something. Is that right?
Right. Yeah.
So do we put one of our already known skills in that wafer?
You won't get as much of a benefit doing it that way.
Okay.
You should probably pick a skill that you don't have at all.
Oh, okay.
You'd stick the wafer in or wherever the jack is.
Yeah.
And then you would get that skill at the level of whoever it was that programmed the thing.
Okay.
Command codes.
And where is our, let me see, where's our skill chart? Is it on the...
Let's see, the skill list is in the Keragen area.
Keragen.
Keragen? Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and pop that up on your screen there.
There we are. Okay, thank you.
I would recommend against taking explosives on a spaceship present.
Yeah. What might be useful, like physical attribute wise, that we don't necessarily have great abilities in? Like the combat wise, sapper might actually be useful if it doesn't require intelligence.
You get the benefit of the experience of whoever programmed the wafer. I don't have those rules to hand right now. I would say that you might be able to substitute some of their education in for yours.
Okay. Because I'm wondering about sapper or like engineer power systems. But I'm thinking ahead to when we actually get illicit access to something. I'm already pretty decent at hitting people.
Yeah. You got a really good right cross. I've seen it.
didn't work very well against the car, unfortunately.
That's all right. Brian, let's see. I was kind of interested in robotics. I don't know how well that would play into our story.
If you take robotics, I will make sure that there's an opportunity to use it.
Okay.
I'll put it that way.
I was looking at either chemistry or robotics. Those were the two that I was kind of interested in.
I don't have a plan for robotics, but darn it, if you take the skill, I'll find a way.
Okay, I'm going to take robotics.
There's got to be some robots somewhere on a prison ship.
And do I just add that at the bottom of my skills chart?
No, put it in your equipment list.
Okay, all right.
And I'll figure out exactly how much skill it gives you when I look up the wafer rules later.
All right.
And I'm thinking about 0G or high G.
High G won't help you unless you do something to turn the ship's gravity systems to overdrive.
Yeah, because that's what I'm wondering is because you could possibly use that to pacify the people in your prison, right?
It's a possibility.
Okay.
Or 0G, we could do the whole Guardians of the Galaxy version escape.
Yeah. Okay. Is hostile environments like hazmat stuff?
Yeah, hazmat and any kind of operating like heavy environmental suits, like the kind that you'd need to wear if you're on a volcanic.
Okay.
I think stealth.
There's no criminal skills.
Streetwise.
Well, there's stealth and streetwise.
Yeah, stealth is probably because I have a little bit of streetwise, so I'll probably take a stealth wafer. That sounds useful.
I was thinking stealth myself.
Wait a minute. You are already stealthy yourself, and so you want to stealth yourself?
I was thinking stealth as well.
Oh, I was like, you're going to hide from yourself. Wow.
By turning the mirrors around.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a wafer jack, Jace?
Oh, I thought you were saying we all got one. Never mind.
No, just the people who have the wafer jack.
Never mind.
Each get one.
I mean, you could have the wafer, but it wouldn't do you very much good.
Yeah. Unless they go behind it,
You could try eating it.
I've been sitting there staring at this for so long and I don't even get
it. You will have a robotics wafer and a stealth wafer.
And if necessary, I guess, and if they have the opportunity, they could trade wafers if they want.
They could. Yeah. If it became necessary.
Sneaky.
So, and Brian, back when we were working through our character creation, I had a curiosity question. So my contacts early on were Jacob's character and Greg's character. I had certain connections through my spy days. How do I understand my connection to Roxor and Kazna? Is it just simply because we've been arrested and thrown in prison together, or was there a little bit more that I missed?
Well, you had the that prologue scene with the Battle of Gugesta.
Gugesta. Okay.
Right. You weren't, directly involved with Kazna and Roxor's group, but as a result of the ship coming down and rescuing them and them getting taken up onto the Luru to transit to wherever, you would have met them and you would have, all traded stories and gotten to know one another.
Okay, sweet. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So I have at the moment the 2 wafers, 2 guard uniforms, some surgical adhesive, and unspecific polymer tools that might function as light bludgeons or levers or whatever it is.
Yeah, let me
whatever purpose
clarify
that you
with
want to.
real quick, GM. Let me clarify. So, Roxor, I'm talking to you now. So, we're gonna kind of fashion these polymer rods or whatever. What kind of things are you thinking would be most beneficial for us? Screwdrivers or bend bars or pry bars or something like that. What were you thinking?
I don't know.
Okay.
I
Does
guess
anybody
it's
have a
on what
polymer
our
skill?
plan actually is,
Right. Yeah.
which we don't have a full plan yet. So I guess the first step is how are we going to get out of our cells?
Interesting. Okay. So we will need. Did we determine if these were hard cells or electronic cells or
Metal meshes.
metal meshes? Oh,
It's uncertain what the nature of the cells is. It is most likely that they're using the hatches that already existed on the ship to secure them. And if they're trying to, maintain control from the bridge, then they'll probably have some kind of electronic control system for the doors
okay.
that they can operate from up there.
Okay. With that knowledge, Brian, I would say that the few pieces of polymer that I'm gonna just kind of think in my head, something similar to maybe a screwdriver or two, or can be used as a cancellation of electrical bridges, like a little rod or something, or
Mm-hmm.
little lock picking, whatever. But there'll be rods that will be handleable, not too small, not too large, but I'll have those, and just a miscellaneous group of things.
Okay. Does anybody have the polymer skill?
I do not.
Nope.
Let's see here.
So which one is a keypad hot wiring kit that you can make out of polymers, right? Among others.
Well, I was thinking actually chemistry would work too. Does anybody have chemistry?
I've got biologics. Does that have like a side order of chemistry with it?
Not for this purpose, no.
Yeah, I'm
Jeff,
completely out.
Okay.
Then plus jack of all trades, I can default that for my chemistry.
That's true. You do have jack of trades. So I would say that you could probably devise a like a chemical formula, something that would let you work that plastic into whatever shape that you want,
Okay.
and then it would harden like a resin.
Okay. If it's not pushing your story too far, that's cool. If it is, I can just let the idea go all the way.
No, I love that idea of kind of a sculptable multi tool.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite things now.
Cool. Can I have two of them, one for each arm?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
And if one of your limbs get damaged, you can just make another limb out of it.
Well, there we go.
All right, so
Polymer multi-tools that he will carry, but I have the skills to fashion.
right.
As long as we can get together in some way, we can work that part out. Using those.
Well, and it's a pretty simple. It'd be a pretty simple chemical process. You could just teach them how to do it, so that if the whole group, you could teach how to do it. Say, okay, well, you dip it in this chemical, wait a few moments, sculpt it, and then dip it in this chemical, and it'll harden. It's
okay, cool.
The skill is in knowing how to make those chemicals and get them prepped.
Okay, so not like I'm a plastic blacksmith or something. Okay.
Right.
All right, so that will give us some tools. We have some uniforms. If we can use those tools in whichever way to get out of the cells, then we will be able to get around. That'll be the first major step.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, mess hall, whatever, find out where Lunt is over a day or two. Shouldn't be too hard. In the meantime, we have a way to get out of the cells and into uniforms. The next step, I guess, would then be to get down to E deck to be able to get into the big hatch. But if we do have guard uniforms, that might not be too hard to do, especially with what would, assuming they have some kind of like badge access or whatever for the guards to walk from place to place. They don't want just anybody to head down to the maintenance deck in the middle of a flight for no apparent reason. Would that be streetwise, stealth, something else to pick it off of them?
Oh, in terms of actually stealing one? Yeah, either one of those skills would do.
Okay.
Or I don't know, there could be other skills that might even lend themselves to that kind of thing. If you got
some kind of persuasion, conversation, tactics, stuff like that to socially trick them out of it, or smack them on the back of the head.
Right, that's always an option.
That's a viable skill. Go to trade school for that kind of degree.
Oh, incidentally, there is a specific rule for smacking somebody on the back of the head and knocking them out. If you can approach them in such a way as they are not aware that you're there, their head is unarmored, or they don't expect an attack, you can just knock them out.
So stealth is a weapon.
You do the MacGyver thing, and you smack them on the back of the head, and they're out.
All right.
That feels a little anticlimactic.
Well, again, you do have to approach with them not knowing that you're hostile to them, which is easier said than done when you're in a prison.
Yeah.
Guards don't generally like it when the prisoners are lurking behind them.
Always, yeah. And for myself, if I can get into the kitchen, I can use my chef and biology skills to put together, a crude acid, a minor explosive, mixing together sugar, alcohol, and a couple of other things. If we need any kind of improvised chemical agents of some sort.
And kids, don't try this at home. This is a role-playing game in fantasy.
Especially not when you're on a prison in space.
No, this is a role-playing game in sci-fi.
Ah.
Yeah, see, we're not even in the same room. We're using sci-fi to role-play sci-fi.
That's true.
Yes.
You got to think outside the ship.
Oh, my word.
You just can't breathe out there.
That's why I got a vac suit.
That sucks.
I'm not even going to go there.
All right, sounds like we have the beginning of a plan.
Such as it is, yes.
Yeah. What is do we have a prearranged method of getting actually off of the ship, or we need to come up with that too?
Well, that was my next. One of the things that I was going to ask you is, how do you imagine getting off? You do have now the this question of the mail and the idea of being able to sneak a message out disguised in other language.
I figure
you could use that to signal.
Every third word you look at the first letter of it, and you could go and make spell a word in a different language, and I'll keep alternating which languages I'm using throughout. So as long as you know 6 languages and you don't mind wasting a bunch of time, you'll be able to read what's going on.
Yeah, and you can definitely arrange with Hannah to make sure that she can understand your cipher.
Yeah.
Now,
Hannah or somebody else could arrange for a small ship. Well, actually, how close is this to any planet or any other? Do we have to have a space jump ship to be able to leave it at all? Or
yes, you will need a jump-capable ship. Let me look up the details on Pixie here. It has...
So no shuttlecraft to a nearby planet or anything, then?
Nope, it has 2 stars, some gas giants, and the prison. Okay, apparently there is a world in Pixie. It is a vacuum world with no atmosphere or hydrosphere. Apparently it's got an archaeological site, so there might be a little bit of activity with archaeologists. The military base, where the Luru will continue getting its refits done because they were interrupted by needing to shuttle you there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the prison, and then this little archaeological site, a population of less than 10,000.
Okay. So if we can arrange for Hannah to have a ship swing by at a prearranged time through our Dear John prison letters. We can do that, or, well, I assume if there are any air rafts on board, which there probably aren't, there's no way we'd be able to take them to the nearby planet or anything. So it would have to be some kind of large ship, not a small craft of any kind. So we are going to need to have something arranged, although there are, with a prisoner population of however many it is, there's going to be ships for food and supplies and guard rotations and things like that coming relatively frequently, I would assume.
And Dave, just for continuity, let's make those Dear Roxor letters, not Dear John.
Yes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
The supply shuttle comes every 2 weeks, exchanging whatever guards are supposed to be exchanged, sometimes bringing prisoners with it. There is always a cruiser.
The guards have 2-week shifts. That's pretty rough.
Yes, they pretty much live on board the station, station/ship. And then there is always a cruiser in system ready to respond to problems at the prison. However, if it happens to be, refueling at the gas giant or whatever, it could take several hours for it to get from wherever it is to wherever it would need to be to support the prison authorities. And Hannah will make certain that at the time that your whatever it is that you're doing happens, that it is indeed over there refueling.
Okay. Might be a a good time for some insight rolling. Whichever one of us ended up with that.
I can give it a shot.
I guess the biggest thing we want is what things are we not thinking about yet?
Yeah. I mean, I can do it now. I also am partial of doing that retrospectively. Of course, we can just keep planning. I'm happy to roll that.
Well, let's go back through what we've discussed and what we think we have. So we've talked.
Would a tactics roll help here to look for the gaps in our plan?
Tactics would not, but strategy would.
Okay. One. Well, I can jack of all trades. I would have it that way.
Okay. So Roxar, you take the lead and kind of run us through what we've talked about, and the rest of us will just kind of pay attention. We see any holes or loops or whatever, we'll holler out.
All right. We arrive. We get dropped off. We'll probably be. We'll meet the warden or whatever kind of orientation thing they have. Be shown to our cells. We don't know how many there are to a cell, if we will be able to even communicate with each other once we're on board, except for mess hall times. We're going to have some uniforms, 2 uniforms smuggled on board, and a set of malleable plastic tools for the polymer, so we can use to make whatever kind of thing we might need. If I can get access to the kitchen, I can whip us up a few weapons and weapon-like substances. We do know, to our advantage, we know the beginning layout of the ship, and at least major structure-wise, it will probably still be the same. We have a way to communicate outgoing, assuming that well, actually, that's one thing we haven't asked yet. There isn't any, you said no faster than light communications. So are the letters only brought out in and out on the supply ship once every 2 weeks?
That's correct. Now, if you can come up with a way of getting radio communications, you might be able to establish comms with Hannah, because she's going to remain on whichever cruiser is in system.
Yeah.
But getting access to the comm system would be probably pretty difficult, because I would imagine that the guards wouldn't like that.
Right. We could try smuggling a comm system on board, but one that would have enough a range and power to penetrate the shielding and the hull around the ship and reach to one far out enough it probably is not going to fit inside an arm.
Right.
So if we could hollow out his entire body, no, let's not do that.
Thank you. Let's not.
Well, you could make like a roll for shamble and store it in Kazana's head.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, Drad doesn't need both of his legs, does he?
That's true. You do also have Drad as a possible resource. I don't know how you might use him. Maybe feed him disinformation or something.
Well, feed him disinformation and feed him pieces of a comm system is what I was thinking. And then a day or two later, we get our comm system out.
Wow. I was not really wanting to go there, but
in the end, that's all that matters.
Yep. Oh, yeah. So Roxor, that was a good rundown. I didn't really see any loopholes or any holes that need to be plugged. Jace, Kevin, Kaz, did y'all see anything where we need to add or subtract or enhance?
Well, the big loophole that I did notice is we don't really have a means of radio communication to signal pickup that we are ready to leave this place.
Okay, we'll probably have to find that from the command center, though, right? Once we're done.
Well, and we'll also need to find a way that Lunt and whoever else we have with us will accept. Like, it won't be as simple as being like, okay, now we're going to call the feds and they're going to come pick us up.
Yeah.
We're not taking him back with us, are we?
Well, I mean,
that was the plan.
You
have to help him escape.
So
yeah.
I apologize. Yes. Okay.
He is.
So yeah.
And he's probably too big to fit inside a leg, right?
Oh, he is definitely too big to fit inside a leg. Yes.
Although we could probably fit some of our legs inside his butt, once we're finished with all of it, right?
Well, I was going to say we could pull you're looking at buying a new car and you look at the trunk space and there's always the question you ask. We could always do that with him and then he might fit inside of a leg.
Right. The other hole in our plan is how do we communicate with each other since we might be all kept in separate cells?
It'll have to be during chow time or shower time or yard time.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking too.
There is one other piece of information trying to figure out. Because there's
I mean, one of us won't be a part of the shower time, but the others probably will.
The prisoners are assigned a work duty of some kind. The only information that you really know is that there's some kind of electronics recycling shop on board the ship. They send junk electronics there and components come back out.
Nice.
And presumably the prisoners are doing the work of breaking things down.
And I've got electronics and computing in my skill set.
And I will see if I can get assigned to the kitchen with my excellent chef skills. If nothing else, they might want me to make meals for the staff and the guards.
There we go, guys. Can we get jobs that are within our skills range that we can use to our advantage in communicating together and making distraction, making trouble, whatever it is? What do you think?
I'm in favor. I don't know how we would arrange all of that, though.
Well, I'm going to see if I can get in on this electronics depot thing.
Electronics, go to diode.
So, Brian, would there be opportunity for us to possibly earn places of employment with these different facility things, like the kitchen and the depot and the?
Yeah, if it works like prisons do nowadays, then you'd be assigned, whatever work detail you're suited for.
Okay.
You tell them, I've got some electronic skills. I know my way around computers, and say, oh, sure, we'll have you help out with the recycling thing. If Roxor says, hey, I know my way around a kitchen, sure, we'll put you in the galley. You prepare food. I imagine that Sir Kevin is going to say, I've got some doctoring skills, and they might say, okay, infirmary. So
there's our communication method. I make some really bad food. We go to the infirmary and we talk to Dr. Kevin.
Okay. And Kaz, what have you got when you're in your tool belt there? What are you looking to get a job in?
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
So far, it seems like I'm the only person who might not come off as a super goody two shoes, which may be important to recruit the other prisoners.
Okay.
Do we know the gender makeup of the prison yet? Is that public?
That leads me to a question I was going to ask a little bit later as a point of safety. This is a prison situation, and you do have one female crew member. Is anybody going to be uncomfortable with the implications of how to say if someone tries to strong arm Kazana? Of course, I fully expect Kazana to break them in half. But is that going to bother anybody, or should I just avoid it?
Well, okay. I'm sorry. Let me not speak. I'll speak for myself. What you guys talk first?
I mean, personally, I don't feel the need to like totally sanitize the prison environment, but also as I'm playing the character, the one female crewmate, as somebody who is not female and has not been to prison, I don't see any particular need to get like graphic about anything.
I definitely wouldn't get graphic,
sense.
But it was going to be more of an illusion than anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll speak up a little bit from my point. I'm cool with that. I like the way Jacob said that. Illusion's good and alluding to and that kind of thing. Because it's not about graphicness, but how close are we as far as comrades, friends, teammates with Kazana in this storyline? Like, is she my friend? Is she my are we buddies, who have fought together, spied together, different things like that?
I'm going to leave the details of your personal relationships up to you. If you want to negotiate that, that's fine. I will say it's unlikely Kazana has been, deeply involved in your profession because she was just a merchant.
Okay.
But you did have that 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks of time on the Luru coming back from Gugesta. And so whatever relationships you might have formed in that time is up to you.
Okay. Well, as far as I'm concerned, knowing her to that level and the amount of trust bridge that we have, I know that she can take care of herself. But if it looking like there's going to be 3-on-1, 5-on-1, whatever, it's going to be whatever +1 because I'm that type of person. So I'm cool with it. I think I actually have some pretty good fighting skills, but I'll have to look it up.
Right, so nobody deeply uncomfortable with the topic?
No, sir. Not me. What about you guys?
We don't have other Kevin here, do we?
No, he's, as far as I can tell, he's still storm shelter. He hasn't said he's back yet.
All right. I can bring that up with him again later, just to be sure.
Yeah.
Because I definitely don't want a role-playing game, something that we're doing for fun, to be a source of trauma for anybody.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you for your sensitivity. I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, I'm only uncomfortable with it in as much as I think that people should be uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those
Exactly. Because what I was going to ask you, and that does kind of bring the question. So, and don't tip your hand. I know you won't, but I'm just saying, don't feel pressure to tip your hand. In these galaxies that we're in, would they still separate the sexes in prison?
Yeah.
Or would they have a prison that may have like a top floor would be females, the bottom floor would be males, or something like that? Or would it be separate housing, like separate buildings? I don't know.
Yeah, we made the Guardians reference earlier.
Mm-hmm.
In this particular circumstance, because it's a closed environment, there's not really the opportunity to completely segregate.
Ah, cool. Okay.
But there may be gender separated decks for cells. But during the day, when people are out in the yard or doing whatever jobs they've been assigned, then that will be mixed company.
Okay, cool. If I missed something earlier, I apologize, guys. I just need to make sure.
Nope,
They want to have separate yard times for the men and women and separate meal times.
That will be inconvenient for the story because that would mean I would have to separate Kazuna from.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, no, let's not do that.
So for the practicality of the role playing game, we're going to say that in those instances it's mixed company.
Yeah,
it's all good.
As realistic or unrealistic as it may be.
Yeah, and based on the size of it, there might not be that many prisoners.
Yeah, it's not a huge ship. I don't remember exactly offhand what the crew complement of a Canooner is.
I imagine 100 prisoners tops, but maybe slightly more if they're we're all crammed in.
Probably fewer than that. The stats on the thing.
And it depends on how much of the normal layout they've reassessed, and this used to be storage, but now we're putting prisoners in there, things like that.
Right.
The original crew complement for a Canooner class cruiser is 80. Okay. And so I wouldn't expect there to be any more than that because that's, a Navy ship. People are packed in cheek by jowl,
right,
filling up the space. So probably considerably less than that, and especially since you've got the entire top deck devoted to the guards.
Right.
So maybe 36 prisoners is what you're looking at.
Okay. So yeah, but we would definitely have exercise and mealtime together.
All right. So when it comes time to enact the escape, you're going to send a message to Hannah by this encrypted mail.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to arrange, say what time, what day, what time in that message. And when the transport arrives, you're going to have to be ready to enact because there's not going to be a second chance probably.
Yep.
You've got preliminary ideas on what kind of jobs to take. You know how you're getting access to areas that you're not supposed to be in with those tools. You have the possibility of impersonating guards. But again, due to the size of this craft or its lack of size, probably all the guards are very familiar with each other.
Yeah.
So the uniforms aren't going to hold up extremely well to scrutiny.
Yeah. So maybe
be careful with that.
A makeup disguise kit kind of thing. If we could get that on board, might help. But not that I have any skills in doing that sort of thing.
Right. It would be most likely to be successful if there was actually, before I say this, Kazuna, go ahead and give me that insight roll. All right. So that is a success. The guard uniforms will be most likely to be useful and successful if there's already a lot of chaos going on, say in the aftermath of a bomb or, a small riot or something where people are not looking real closely at who's wearing that uniform.
Okay.
So I think in large strokes, your plan is pretty well set. So unless there's anything else that you want to lay out, I will take us to Pixie.
To Pixie we go.
Sounds good to me.
Is Jacob still offline, or is he with us?
Yeah, I haven't seen any signs of him.
Yeah, I guess the last thing we need to just agree on is how well are we going to act like we know or don't know each other?
Oh, maybe he's back.
Yeah, I'm here for at least for right now.
Yay!
Yeah, I was just thinking, wait a second, John's in the same area. Shouldn't he be taking cover too?
Now, the beauty of the way I guess the geography is, John gets an entirely different set of storms than we do.
Yeah, it's weird.
Wow. That is strange.
and both of us get an entire, either one of us get an entirely different one that blows through Nashville sometimes.
And Nashville just floods. Nowhere down here floods.
I know.
You're just like, but no, all our storms are from we're near Redstone Arsenal where they have that loop, so we get that stuff.
You're saying the weather is weaponized from the arsenal?
Yeah,
No, I'm
nuclear.
not saying anything.
I don't know. I just heard you say that there's a loop down there in an arsenal and they're
What?
sending storms.
Did you say something?
You can either confirm or deny the weather control machine. But for knowing each other, we just went through the fame stuff earlier, so most of us are famous to one degree or another. So it would be weird if we didn't act like we know each other, unless we're going in under aliases or something.
Well, remember that fame isn't Britney Spears fame. That fame is, who can I think of that?
Don't
You're
say
not
Pee Wee
household
Herman.
names.
Don't say Pee Wee Herman.
I was thinking Pee Wee Herman too.
I know you are, but what am I?
Definitely not Pee Wee Herman.
This is an aside, but did you know there's a website where you can get minor celebrities to read greetings to people?
Oh, they're
No,
not all
yeah.
minor. They're not all
Not
minor.
all of them, yeah. Well, my coworkers got Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens, to read this or to give this long birthday message to our boss. It was deeply uncomfortable.
That's great.
Ever since the pandemic, my Zoom background has been Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Nice.
You know who the original creator who was supposed to star in Pee Wee's Playhouse, right?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I cannot think of his name now. Man on the Moon with
Andy Kaufman?
Andy Kaufman. It was supposed to be
Are
Andy
you
Kaufman's
serious?
It was supposed to be Andy Kaufman's Playhouse.
Oh, man.
That would have been a weird show. And Pee Wee's Playhouse was pretty weird to start with.
Yeah.
Anyway, so probably
Do we need to update Kevin? Kevin, did you catch anything of what we're trying to do?
Yeah, we're still talking about prison.
Yes.
given the high notes, I guess I can do it.
Yeah, please.
So you're gonna smuggle 2 guard uniforms in migrants' legs, along with. Several minutes later, you can board her ship and get out, but there's not going to be any opportunity to call it off once the message is sent.
Okay. So, who was doing the explosive again?
Roxor.
Roxar's doing the explosive. I'm doing the surgery / just working in the infirmary. Jace is doing what?
Apparently, not a lot.
Hasn't volunteered himself for any duties, so
There
he's
hasn't
just going
been
to be.
anything I can do yet.
We'll make sure that you're in charge of piloting something.
Yeah, I can also mechanic,
I look at Jace
and I know about space life really well.
That's true. That might come in handy.
Yeah, because none of y'all have spent this much extraordinary large amounts of times on spacecrafts. Well, some of you spacecrafts, but not like a station.
Well, yeah. You're probably the most skilled. I think I'm the second most.
Yeah, my space life knowledge is a 6.
I pat him on the back and be like, just because you don't have a big purpose in this mission, change out that red shirt, okay?
Hey, this is me playing the character. I don't need a red shirt to know I'm going to die.
We also need a diplomatic corps to get on Lunt's good side, and I'm not so good at the talking. And I got him his life kind of ruined the last time we
Diplomacy.
worked together.
I think diplomacy's Roxar.
Yes.
Sort of. I kind of live in the world of nobles now, but I even though I speak 6 languages fluently, ass kissing is not one of them.
All right. So unless you've got more plans to make, we're at 45 minutes left in our evening here. So I'm going to just give you the introduction to the Gash, and we will pick up the actual scenario. Oh, I did want to say one other thing. Now that we've got this plan laid out, are you familiar with the philosophy of John Le Carré on making plans in spy novels?
No.
Not explicitly, but I have my instincts about how pre-planning heist type things goes.
There are two ways it goes. You make your plans, and the more detail you put into it, the more likely it is something goes wrong in the actual execution. Or you reveal no plans to the audience, and everything, you just describe it as it happens. So since we spent all this time planning, some interesting things are going to happen. So we'll see what those interesting things are next time. For now, the Luru breaks out of hyperspace, or not hyperspace, that's the wrong word, jump space, into Pixie, and it takes several hours to make rendezvous with the station, during which time Kazana and Drad are still in the brig. The rest of you are still locked up in the Marine barracks until the XO, what was his name again? It's been too long, I've forgotten. Velish, Commander Velish, and he's got this like spiky hairdo that goes up about 6-8 inches, comes to get you. He looks like Vash the Stampede a little bit. Actually, we'll say, yeah, he's even got these like little glasses on the ends of his nose.
Nice.
So he comes to get you, and he escorts you back to the gig, the ship's shuttle, which takes you over to the Gash. And what you see out the porthole looks much like the ship that you've been on, except it's not as shiny. It's the plating is dull, ignored, pitted in places. The big observation deck window that's on the back of the Luru has been covered in metal plating so people can't see out. The big doors on the back of the ship open up slowly. You can imagine the sound of them rumbling, even though there's no sound traveling in the space. And the pinnace pulls neatly into the cavernous boat dock. It connects its umbilicals. The airlock pressurizes and the doors roll back. And all of you are herded out into that C-13 area where you expect to see a console here. There's no console. The console's been pulled out and the panel plated over so that it can't be operated from here. And at the end of the little hallway, the iris valve cycles open. Hannah gives you a shove into what appears to be the mess hall of the Gash. And I'm going to switch us over to the other view. And so there are a few people in here. There's two guys wiping down tables and a woman swabbing the floor. And there are 4 guards here to receive you. And they quickly shuffle you out and separate you into groups and take you over into one at a time into a side room. They wave a little wand scanner over you. It, of course, beeps all over the place for migrant. So we're going to need to search you a little bit more thoroughly.
Okay.
And so they
just watch where you touch.
It might also be for Oxor with his artificial lung.
Right. Of course, the scanner only beeps on your chest, and it's beeping all over on Migrant because he's got all kinds of enhancements. And they squeeze his arms and his legs, and they're looking for anywhere like false skin pouches and that kind of thing. And they don't find anything because it's actually surgically implanted in his body. And they eventually they're satisfied that you're not carrying contraband. And then you're taken over into a little interview. So we'll go left to right on my screen. And we'll say that they pull you into the infirmary, and the warden is here. He says, "I'm Kazan. I'm the warden here. I'm the one in charge. I say jump, you jump. Now, Mr. And he looks at his column that's got your information on it. Oh, Baronet Roxor. How the mighty have fallen. And do you have any particular special skills? You know, we put our people to work here. We're not going to be lazing about. This ain't a vacation."
I was an award-winning chef.
Award-winning.
Yes.
Well, then I guess you can fix some slop for the men, for the boys.
Yep. I can mix up those scrambled eggs with the rest of them.
All right, galley work for you then. And he gestures. And you what?
Aye, Warden.
Oh, and he gestures for you to go on out, and the next person comes in. He looks down and says, Jace Aller. Well, it says here you were in the Navy. So what about you? You got any skills to put to use here?
Yeah, I can usually keep equipment and ships up and running.
Well, there ain't a lot of call for an engineer around here. All the drives
not engineering. Fixing them.
Well, in any case, I guess we can put you on maintenance duty and keep things from falling apart. And by the way, the interior of this ship is very shabby, as you might expect. Things spot welded all over the place, none too clean, rust spots. So you may have your work cut out for you, keeping things from falling apart. It says, you know what? First things first, you go see Malor out there. He's got some work in the fresher needs done, some plumbing.
If it needs to be done.
He brings in Kazina, gives her a look over, says, I'm Kazin. I'm the warden here. Now, you got any particular skills? We're going to be putting you to work.
I look at him dead in the eyes and I say, well, I'm a trained steward if you'd like to put me on a ship out of this place. Otherwise, I think I'll need some time to rest up, and I exaggeratedly limp.
Well, it has, by the way, been enough time for you. You're completely healed. It's been...
Oh, duh, that's right.
Yeah, it's been almost.
I've forgotten the extra 19 days. I'll still try to limp.
Okay.
Can I act?
Yeah. Give me an acting roll.
What characteristic? Social.
Social, yeah.
What difficulty?
Since you're just putting on a show to make it look like you're, I'll say that being from where you are, you're very experienced at lollygagging, so make it just average.
It is still a 5, so it does not work out so well.
Okay. So he says, all right, well, steward, huh? I guess we can put you on laundry duty. You've probably done plenty of that in your time. All right, next.
Yeah.
He calls in Sir Kevin, says, Knight of the Realm. Well, there ain't no dragons to slay around here. You got any particular skills?
I spent 8 years in medical in the Navy.
Medic. Always good to have a sawbones on hand. Sometimes your roommates will get kind of rowdy. We'll go ahead and put you to work in the infirmary. We don't have anybody who's been particularly skilled there to assist us. Actually, I guess we're sitting in your office right now.
Oh, all right. Okay. Looks like a good place. Question to the DM. What is the crime that we did?
Scroll back up here.
I mean, what do they think?
Which one did we not do?
You were accused of
kidnap victim,
endangerment, destruction of property, interference with an investigation, possession of weaponry, and improper parking.
Yeah. Did you remember which one of us?
That's not bad.
Says the one who was found with the weapon.
I feel like I didn't have the weapon. Maybe Rockstar had it at the end. But, okay, so we're basically a bunch of frat boys who went on a party.
Speak for yourself.
Okay,
right.
Gotcha.
So, Migrant, he calls you in, looks you over and says, so they say you got some enhancements, a little bit of work done on you. I trust that you're going to behave yourself.
Yeah, you're right. That happens way better.
Depending on the level of behavior that you're looking for, I'm going to get whatever job done that needs to get done, and you're not going to see much trouble out of me.
That's good to hear. Hey, you got any skills I can put to use?
Anything with electronics and computing, I'm your man.
All right, well, You're not going to have any access to computers, but we can certainly use them electronic skills. We got a recycling operation going on here. You'll be breaking stuff down, extracting raw materials and components. Electronic skills will be very useful there.
My dream job is awaiting.
All right. Does anybody have the admin or bureaucracy skills?
Let's see.
I've got liaison. And
Did you say admin? I think I have
trades.
an admin.
I have 1 in leadership. I don't think. And 0 in steward.
I don't have admin. I thought I took it, but I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have one in steward.
Just steward.
All right. Well, that closes off that line of inquiry then. All right. So you get oriented in your new jobs. Let's see, I think I have a key for the Gash. I'm not going to share that with you entirely because it's got some stuff that you're not going to know about. But
Sir Kevin does have administration.
oh, does he? Okay, that might come in useful later, but we'll see. All right, so then the galley and the mess is C6 here. So that's where Roxor is going to be spending his work time. Laundry and janitorial is on B deck. And then, Roxor will also spend some time in the food service. This is actually they've got a big commercial style kitchen and food pantries up there.
Okay.
You will be preparing food only for the other prisoners, not for the guards.
Right.
See, the electronics shop is here in B3. That's the recycling shop. And they've got this like makeshift lift to take things down to C deck to be loaded on the shuttle.
Okay.
It might be sturdy enough to take a person if that comes up. And then your electronics toolkits are stored in B6. They're always checked in and out under the watch of a guard, and there's always a guard in the electronic shop to make sure you're not pilfering anything. Jace was general maintenance, so he'll be working pretty much everywhere. You will have access to these 2 rooms, B1 and 2, which are the supply lockers where your materials will be stored for the most part when you need tools or supplies. So we covered Kazana's in the laundry, Kevin's in the infirmary. So that's where all of your work duties will be. Your cells are all up here. All but Kazana are up here in C3. And then Kazana is in at the other end of the, say, A block cells, B block cells, and 15 and 16. Yeah, this area. And so then at the end of your workday, you are placed in your cells, and these are there's not bars or anything. It's just a typical like naval style hatch with a bar on the outside that comes down to lock them. So probably the toolkit's not going to get you out of the cell, at least not immediately. That bar mechanism is electronically controlled from upstairs somewhere, so it's like eek. So from the outside, if you can get access to that mechanism, you might be able to do something with it, but at least not during this first night.
Do we have the cells to ourselves?
Yes, one person per cell.
Oh.
It looks like the number of prisoners here is somewhere in the high 20s, low 30s. So as it stands, is relatively spacious for a prison. And I think that is all I have for you for now. Drad is on the ship with you, by the way. So if there's any kinds of information that you wanted to have fed to him that he might gossip among the other prisoners, go ahead and let us know in the Discord. Anything further you want to do or questions you want to ask?
These are better quarters in the military.
They're certainly better than you had when you were a low level lance corporal or whatever you started as.
Even 5 barracks in here.
So, Brian, how will our characters know? I mean, other than the typical kick of the cell door, wake up, it's time to whatever. How will we track day to night, day by day, week by week?
Well, the sound of that bar going up and unlocking your cell is pretty loud, so you'll know when it's time to exit.
Okay.
And then there is a PA system. If somebody needs to communicate with the entire prison population, lights out or whatever, they'll be able to do that. Oh, actually, yeah, there are speakers in each of the cells for that PA system. So that's another possible resource for you.
Okay. All right. And are we? What access will we have to any sunshine, a sun or star shine or something, where we are housed, or where we be?
Not much in the way of natural starlight.
Okay. Okay.
As a military ship, it wasn't real big on having windows.
Right. Right.
The only place really that you could have seen out would be the observation deck on A deck at the back of the ship. But as mentioned, it's been covered over, and you wouldn't have access to it anyway.
Sweet. Okay.
So all of your light's going to be artificial.
Artificial. Okay.
Catching up on the chat here now too.
Is this prison ship where we are? Is it dry docked, so to speak?
No, it is not. It is in a free orbit around a gas giant.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it'll be my breathing tube. Thank you very much. Nobody else is sucking on my leg. Thank you very much. Either one of them.
Make that the trailer for this arc, Brian.
Yeah.
Things that we know aren't going to make the final cut.
Oh, you're optimistic.
But it should be in the director's edition.
The migrant.
That's how we'll get people to sign up for a Patreon. You can hear a version of the show with all of the weird jokes.
Yes, yes, we must.
We should call it the migrant cut.
Oh man, really? Okay.
Well, that's what the migrant cut is what the surgery was to begin with, right?
Exactly.
The procedure was named after him.
And he's not even Jewish.
So, not anymore.
Sorry. Anyway. Okay, so we're in free. You say free orbit around a gas giant.
Yep.
And are we getting anything off this gas giant? Like, is there eventual? Like, is this the way they want to put people because they're going to get radiation off this, and end up dying, so they don't worry about it? They just kind of put them here and leave them here to forget them.
No, based on your.
Well, they harvest anything of the atmosphere as they pass by, anything like that.
Nah, it's mostly because there was a naval base here.
Ah, okay.
And this was where the Gash happened to break down. Like, okay, well, rip the drives out and turn it into a prison.
Okay, sweet.
You do know, based on some initial conversations with some of the prisoners, that there seems to be a high proportion of people who consider themselves political prisoners. And so there might actually be a big noble for Roxor to get in a fight with.
Okay. We should keep that in mind.
But I have not developed the prisoner roster yet.
And if there's a noble to get in a fight with, then Sir Kevin can knight somebody, and then I get in a fight with him.
I think you'd have to knight somebody, because I don't think he can raise somebody to the same level as he is.
I can deputize people. Squire. I don't have a squire yet.
Wow.
So this prison, is this for people just in this sector? Like, how big an area does this prison service?
Unknown. We'll have to figure that out through conversations later on, I guess.
And all the prisoners are human, right? None of the weird aliens.
I haven't decided yet. We may throw an alien or two into the mix.
Wait. We might have an alien on the prison ship.
Mm-hmm. They mostly come out at night.
And many of us were Navy or Marines.
I wasn't thinking of that kind of alien, but it's a possibility.
I'm pretty sure this is going to be game over, man.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute. Are you thinking Starship Troopers again?
No, worse.
Well, if we go with the book, there is that large exosuit.
I still can't believe they pulled that out of the movie. That was the best part of that book.
I think it's in the third movie.
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't get that far. Sorry.
Rico's back in the third movie, too.
Oh.
Wait, who comes back in the third movie?
Johnny Rico, the
Oh,
main character from the first movie.
Casper Van Dine. He
He's
plays
not
him
in the
again?
second movie at all, even though he's the main character of the first movie. He comes back in the
Yeah.
third movie because he had no major acting career after Starship Troopers.
Right. Yeah, but he always had great hair.
wait, there's more than one?
Yeah, there's four
Four or five. Yeah, four or
And
five.
a TV show.
Yeah. It a really awesome TV show.
I have a friend who worked on it.
Alien versus Predators.
Oh, you got to work on it, Brian?
No, I have a friend who got to work on it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I still think Ironside was killer, but
He was made for that role.
That's cool. Yeah, for me, Brian, I'm good with what we've got so far. I think we have some very interesting. We have an interesting layout ahead of us. This is going to be pretty. Wow.
It'll be interesting because I have, honestly, I set it up. I have no idea. It's like the module is about 3 paragraphs long, and let me. Actually,
And we're halfway through paragraph 1.
I think you're like at the beginning of paragraph 1, but
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, as usual, we will make it as interesting for you as possible.
the process of escape from the situation remains a problem for the travelers to solve. That's all it says about how to get off the prison ship.
Mhm.
Ah,
Well, planning gives Brian ways of making things interesting.
Or, yes, that storyteller code for slowing us down.
yeah. I mean, we do have a Sir Kevin then. I mean, so
I don't want to spend like 6 sessions on the Gash, so I won't slow you down too much. But hopefully there will be some chaos. That is my hope.
well, as I said, we've got a Sir Kevin with us. So
That's true.
I guarantee that.
If Jace is on the ship, there's going to be chaos. He has no major part in this plan, which means he can do whatever he wants. And he has access to mechanical equipment.
see, did you know that it was like I did air quotes, ace in the hole, Jace in the hole. Get it?
I'm just going to steal a vac suit, cut a hole in the wall, and just float away and say, bye, guys.
Oh my word, Kaz, you got to keep your eye on this guy.
Oh, look, it's even in my notes. Breach hole, all die.
Makes more sense than rocks fall in space. Yeah.
Oh, somehow I don't. think I said
Jace's
that.
master plan is to try and dig a tunnel to freedom.
Like that's the rock hammer, still
Like
works.
Shawshank.
Yeah, yeah. Dave made that joke earlier in chat.
I missed it.
Oh, wow.
I do not recommend using a rock hammer to tunnel your way through the walls.
No.
And my response was, I could wear a vac suit. I'll be fine.
Thanks for listening. This has been Hard Travelin' Geeks, presented by Geek at Arms. As always, you can find more actual play experiences and episodes of the Geek at Arms podcast at geekatarms.com.